months amid its shadow war with Israel. Now we start this hour in West Asia, where as the Israeli offensive intensifies, the humanitarian situation in Gaza worsens. Now, according to Gaza's hospitals, Israeli airstrikes overnight killed at least 16 people in Gaza, including women and children. The strikes targeted various parts of the Gaza Strip, including Gaza City and refugee camps. The Israeli military also reported more than 350,000 Palestinians have fled south from Gaza City due to escalating violence. The United Nations estimated at the end of August that around 1 million people lived in Gaza City and its surrounding areas. Since yesterday, Israel has struck over 150 targets in Gaza City as part of its ongoing military operation. Amid the rising death toll and destruction, aid groups are urging the international community to take stronger measures to stop Israel's offensive. The message was signed by leaders of more than 20 aid organizations operating in Gaza, including the Norwegian Refugee Council, Anire and Save the Children. We're now joined by Ali Mohammed Bushback. He's an independent Palestinian researcher and he joins us live from Cairo in Egypt. Thank you very much, Ali, for joining us on this situation. Ali, of course, this offensive continues by the IDF as the days roll on. How would you describe the situation in Gaza City right now? The IDF has said 350,000 people have evacuated. Israel has also opened a 48-hour evacuation street, as they've called it. Your thoughts on the situation on the ground and how it is affecting those residents of Gaza's most populated urban hub?
Thank you, Thomas, for having me. The situation on the ground, it's a really terrible. Night after night, Gaza City is trampling from the Israeli airstrike, and the intensive bombardment obligated the civilians from Gaza City to flee. And by the way, Gaza City, it's considered one of the biggest and central urban in the Gaza Strip. And more than 1.5 million, they are resident in this area and settled down in this area. So 500,000 nowadays, according to the Israeli report and Israeli estimates, more than 300,000 civilians flee from Gaza City toward North Gaza. Gaza City, according to the Israeli dividing, it's considered as a north part of Gaza, and now the civilians flee to the south part of Gaza. So despite that, also news media, local media reported there is no internet in this area and there is no water service, as well as the lack of medicine and the treatment for the people who got injured, making a challenge for the hospital in Gaza. Yesterday at night, Israel also targeted a children's hospital, Al-Rantisi Hospital in Gaza City in Al-Nasser neighborhood. Among this also, simultaneously, Israel targeting a Shati refugee camp and the several areas, especially a Sheikh Radwan neighborhood. The intensive bombardment in that area. Israel used airstrike. Israel used also artillery shield, and nowadays naval boat. It's also involved in this operation. Also, there is on the ground. Also, the tank is still invaded several of area in Gaza City. Now that Israel seized the north part of Sheikh Radwan neighborhood, also in west part of Gaza City near the beach, the Mediterranean beach. Israel also seized some areas. Thomas, situation for the civilians who flee from Gaza, and we have seen several of footage how Israel deliberately targeting civilians and any movable person or any movable things Israel targeting it. We have seen several of footage that the civilians being deliberately targeted by the Israeli drone or Israeli quadcopter drone as well. So on the ground, there is no internet, and there is a lack in information about the situation. Al-Shifa Hospital, they are announced that there is a lack of treatment to treat the civilians and the injured people. Among of the Israeli
Yes.
airstrike in a refugee camp, it was a woman and her children and her child as well. They are dead and they are killed. So, by the way, for the people who got flee from Gaza City to north part of Gaza, it's the distance around 18 kilometers. So, to manage this for transportation and to take a truck from Gaza City to north part to south part of Gaza, it will cost you 1,000 USD dollar. 1,000 USD. I confirm about it. Several of civilians frustrated of this because of the lack of fuel and the oil on the ground. Israel doesn't allow for disseminating the fuel and the oil for the civilians. So only sources of fuel, it's the hospitals and defense, the civilians defense. So the things is make it more incredible, and it's according to several of organization, human rights organization.
Okay.
It's
Ali, do stay with us. I'm so sorry to interrupt. We do have a limited amount of time. We have some international